Right. So, good morning to everybody who's joining. Thank you so much for joining us for this webinar. It's the first time we've done a partnership webinar, a spotlight of a company that we're really excited to be working with, who can bring a lot of benefits to the world of coaching. And so this morning we have Niklas, who's the CMO and co-founder of Coachilla, who's going to be hosting this webinar, and we'll be here to manage any questions that you have as we go along the way, and answer some questions at the end as well. But with that, I'm just going to go ahead and shift it over to Niklas, and take it away. We're excited to see what you have to present.
Nice to hear. Thank you, Jessica. And I'm super excited to be talking with you. Good morning from my part as well. And I don't know about you, but I have been to a fair share of webinars, a lot of them. And I would just like to pack this webinar with value as much as I can and be interactive. So ask questions. I usually have one-on-one calls with coaches where we can talk and ask questions from each other and learn more that way. So I would also like to keep this in the same manner. So don't hesitate to ask questions. There's chat box in here that when you write anything in that, Wendy and Jessica are going to read that and state it to me, and then we can have that kind of conversation. So I would love to be interactive and get as much from you as possible, so then I can answer and bring the right kind of value, because that's important. I just don't want to talk here. I just want to know more about you and then be specific to bring you value this morning. So yeah, let's get started. The subject is how to do effective online marketing, and that's a very passionate subject to me. So I'm a marketing geek and I've studied it and really feel passionate about that. So let's get started then. So during this, you can also tweet on using this hashtag Coachilla SFICF, and from there you can also ask questions, and they're going to be picked up to this. And as it says, this is also recorded and you can have it after. And there's a special offer at the end, so please stay at the end. I'll explore and reveal the best things as we go. So let's get started. So I want to get first on kind of picture what kind of coaches are here. So what do you do for the clients? Are you a life coach, career coach? And please share more, so then I can take that into consideration when I'm doing this.
Sorry, many people are muted, so if you're trying to talk, you might have to unmute yourself. But I'll share. I do career and leadership coaching as my primary focus.
Sure, good to know. Yeah, and the chat box is also a good option to use in this.
Good. And Wendy says she does career, life, and some workplace coaching, and Judy does mostly business coaching with executives.
Wonderful. So yeah, as some might be writing, I can go forward and build on that. So just to get to know each one of you, from our point of view, we at Coachilla help attract new clients to coaches, and then at the same time help you make a bigger impact. So that's a big thing for us, as we are all clients on Coachilla, and how we found coaching wasn't easy. So it was very hard, and when coaches helped us figure out what is our meaning and what is our purpose in career wise, then we figured out that as coaches are making so big meaning and so big impact in our lives, the best thing we could do is help you reach more clients, and that would make our life the biggest biggest purpose and biggest meaning when we can help people like us from who were very lost and frustrated in what we were doing, and now we are very, very happy and passionate about doing this with you. So that's kind of set this up so we can together make a bigger impact and bigger meaning for every one of us. So hey, here's a table of content just to run through. So I want to touch on current challenges that coaches have. I also want to hear from you from that, and then there we go through the marketing and one of big part of marketing is how to set up your online presence, who to target, what to say, and then how to tell your story in a compelling way so your ideal clients get very, very excited about your coaching. And then at the end, I'm gonna share how we do it, and you can just copy our magic secret formula that we have been developed with other marketing experts. I'm gonna share that openly, and then we're gonna wrap up, recap the key takeaways, and whale special offers for you that you can take action on. And yeah, there's also Q&A at the end. So if something is left at the end and I'm not covering that, then go ahead and we can talk about more. All right, if that sounds good, then we can move forward. Okay, yeah, this I basically already went through, so we can make it interactive. So what kind of challenges you can use the chatbot? What would be your biggest challenge? And if you can break it down a bit, so then I can answer that, give you the best value. What would be the biggest challenge in marketing or getting new clients?
So Judy says, knowing where to target to get new clients.
Mm-hmm.
And I wrote reaching the people I want to work with, which because I don't always know who I want to work with.
Yeah, that's a good one. That's a good one. Yeah, we're gonna talk about both of those. That's a good thing to know.
Yeah, I'll add one of the challenges that I face is clients not always having a clear expectation of what coaching is, or how to find a coach, or how to find a good match with a coach. So it takes a lot of time to educate them on that process, which takes away from being able to spend time coaching sometimes.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, good. Thank you for sharing. Yeah, I'm more than happy to touch on all of those points. And if I, for some reason, miss one, so yeah, you can also ask later. This is my challenge. How would you deal with it, or what are your tips? But I'm pretty sure that I can give everything in those.
Let me just say quickly, I'm going to go ahead and unmute participants so they can jump in if they want. If you want to stay muted on your side, then you can go ahead and manage it on your own, but I'll unmute it here just so people have more freedom to jump in and share their challenges or interact as we go along.
Yeah, true. That's good. Yeah, I would also like to hear other voices than mine. That's always nice. All right. So yeah, one of the core underlying challenges in those, like, who do I target, where do I reach my people, and how do I make sales, is that a lot of times, as you have so valuable skill set on your hands, how to coach people, and those skill set can be then used with basically anyone to help them achieve better life. And the challenge there is then as we are all of us want to make a bigger impact and help a lot of people, we then tend to make our offering too broad. And in that, I would like to then specify a bit on a later point, what do I mean by it, and how do we tackle that. and you can ask questions on that point. Then the second thing, as you, Jessica, mentioned there, the education and everything takes so much time, and a lot of coaches are relying only on time-consuming manual marketing efforts, which include sending messages, going to networking events, and then writing blog posts, filming videos, and that can take a lot of time. So we want to think strategically these 2 points and how to make it so that your coaching business runs smoothly and you get the ideal clients that are the best ideal clients for you, so you can focus more time on coaching. That's kind of a slogan, that you can focus on coaching and we do all the other stuff related to marketing. How does that sound to these two challenges that we are going on? Are people excited, and would you like to get something else also in there?
Sounds pretty good.
Wonderful. Okay, so let's get on with it. So this is just to set this up. This is from our platform, a very fuzzy picture, but it gives you an overview of how we think of these things, and can move forward from here. But you see that there's a very short description at the first, like there's the title and then there's a short description, and that short description is where the magic lies. And I'm gonna go more on that. But then in that short description, we wanna identify the ideal client. And here where I was speaking about going too broad, and the challenge there is that we don't impact anyone there. Like, it's very, very important that the ideal client identifies themselves from you, like as they are day and night, the ideal clients thinking about their challenge and about their goal, and they have a specific need. They are looking for someone who is an expert in that, the bestest of the best, who can help them solve that issue, and they can be confident in it. And when we are talking to a broad mass of people, like I do this and this for that and that, and there, if there's multiple things that you do for multiple people, then you risk of not really speaking powerfully to any one of those when they go to your website or go to your LinkedIn profile, and then they end up going elsewhere looking for someone who is specified in what they do. So here is one of our ideal clients for a coach group. Her real name is Stephanie. She's 45 years old, entrepreneur, and wants to change careers. And when we pick an ideal client that is this specific, then when Stephanie sees your offer and sees your video or sees your website, it resonates with her, and then she really wants to contact you. But if you're doing also this thing and that thing for some other people, Stephanie might not recognize that you are the solution that she needs. So if we are thinking about who is your ideal, and say if you want me to slow down or whatever, I tend to go really fast so you get as much as possible and not the other way around. So here we can then identify 3 things on the ideal client, and these are crucial. One is that they have money to buy, but we don't want to just serve people who are rich and they don't fulfill you. So we need other stuff too. So they have money to buy your coaching services, and they also have a big challenge that they cannot solve by themselves. And this is so big of a challenge that they are thinking day and night. When they are going to bed, it's running on their head. When they are in their day, it's popping up in their head. And that's what we want to be talking about with them and to them. And then they are going after a big goal. And the key thing here is to pick an ideal client who has tension between the challenge and between the goal. So it's not something that they might be happy or it's nice to have. The goal and solving of the challenge is something that they really need. The tension here is pulling them towards the ideal or the goal, and the benefit of the goal needs to be bigger than cost of your coaching package. And when we identify the ideal client and get to know them, then later on we can focus on how do we talk to them, and what kind of message or what kind of website do you write, so it actually makes really all of these points then drive home to them. Does that sound like clear, and does it make sense? Jessica's nodding at least. Good, I see some smiles there also. So yeah, we can move forward. And as I said, if there's any questions, feel free to jump in. And what I'm saying here, you can also say if you don't feel the same way, or challenge me a bit. I'm more than happy to have a friendly conversation and seeing every view there is. Okay, so one part is when we identify the ideal client, the next thing is to get to know them. And one of the best parts, what I like about coaching, is that you really get to know the client. You ask the meaningful questions, and you gather a lot of data and understanding about the clients. And here lies the strength and the power of identifying with one ideal client. Because then you can dive deeper into that person. You really know them, that ideal client, and you can then speak to their heart. You know their challenges. You can relate to them, and that's the thing. When you are speaking to one person, you know what to say, and when you're speaking to multiple different persons with multiple different challenges, then you're kind of are confused, usually yourself, what to say and who to say and where to go. So these are just some aspect that will help us on the previous part, but I want to touch on the third step. So one of key understanding in the ideal client, as we know their challenge and we know where the goal is, then from your experience and your expertise, you can then kind of see the path. What kind of path would they need to take to get to the goal? And those steps are what their mind is craving. That's what they are looking for every day. What steps do I need to take? For example, in my experience, when I was a client, I just wanted to know what is the next step. Like I spent in 1 year, I spent $20,000 on video courses, books, and seminars, and I learned a lot, but none of them said specifically, individually, and uniquely to me, what is my next step? What do I need to take to get out of this obstacle and out of this frustration? And I think that's the value of coaching, that when you get to know the person, you can then guide them to the next step and reveal that next step from within them, what they don't even know and what they are looking for. So that's a real valuable thing to be communicating to them. How can coaching help in that? Any comments or thoughts? Mm-hmm. Wonderful. And after this, when we have identified and we know the client, then it's all about showing interest and caring and giving value. So now it becomes easier to show that caring and show that interest when you are writing about the challenge and writing about their day-to-day, writing about their goals and putting empathy in there, and giving value, sharing those steps, sharing what kind of thoughts and what kind of things come to mind to you around that ideal client, about their thoughts and about their day. And then what after that? And now I can go a little bit deeper about when you know your ideal client, what then to say to them in your website or in your LinkedIn profile, or as you are speaking with them, what to share about yourself in a video or in a call. So here is one of our coaches, and now we're going to dive deeper into the small text that I was mentioning earlier. And here in a very small text, we can identify with the ideal client quite easily. We talk about their goals, we talk about their main challenge, and then we share what is our expertise in helping them with that. And just the goal of this is to identify the ideal client. So the ideal client identifies, yeah, I have that goal, I have that challenge, that is my main challenge. And then oh, this actually sounds pretty good, that this coach could help me, and that gets them interested in you. So it's very, very important that we are, as we know the ideal client, then we are talking only to that ideal client. So then they realize that, yeah, this is, I need to learn more. This might be the solving to my challenge. And yeah, of course, if you have a picture, it's good to smile, but I think you all pretty much are already smiling and know that. But if you don't, that's always nice. It brings up people and makes them open. So now, yeah, the exciting part of telling stories. Is there any questions?
Yeah, I wonder if I could pause and see if you have any wisdom on this. In my experience of working with coaches and working around this idea of understanding your ideal client, that's a hard thing to do. But once somebody's able to do that, I think there's a lot of fear sometimes about how fear of scarcity, essentially. So if I only target one person, I might be missing out on all these other clients. And, you know, all of us coaches, I'll speak for myself, but I think it's universal. We are fearful that we won't get enough clients to survive. So how do you help? How do you help coaches think about focusing on just one client profile when we have that fear of scarcity present as well?
Thank you so much for asking that. That's the main thing that I also hear from every coach, and that's behind of going broad, and that's really what we also need to address here. And there's multiple ways, but in my experience, it actually makes it easier for them to identify where, because then you can start to brainstorm, like, where would this kind of person hang out? What would they do? As you're talking with the ideal clients as well, you can say that, okay, I'm trying to help more people like you. What do you do at your spare time? What do you Google? What kind of Facebook groups do you go to, etc. Then you can, that's part of learning from the ideal client where they are. And then when you start to know and you start to recognize, oh, they go to this kind of networking event, or they go to this kind of seminar every year, then you can start to build that a reservoir of channels. So that's one thing on the manual marketing part. But then also at the end, we're going to explore the real power of using internet and advertising, how to reach those and build those relationships. When you are coaching or doing something else, you can also be building those relationships using the technology. Does that answer your question, or do you want to dive deeper also? More?
Thanks. No, that helps a little bit.
Wonderful. And if you still feel at the end of the call that you'd like us to talk about that, I would be more than happy to share, because I really feel that it touches us all, and a lot of coaches are feeling that. So, and if someone else wants to talk about that, I'll be more than happy to share more. Okay. So then at the after the small text, there's a bigger story that we write on the coach's profile. And all of this is, by the way, done by us. So when we onboard a coach, our marketing team brainstorms this with the coach, so they don't have to come up with all of the answers. We help them and then write this profile. And here you can see that, okay, now we have identified the ideal client, or the ideal client has identified you as a potential coach. Now what do you do to really connect with them? And there's multiple aspects. I'm gonna just do a quick thing. Okay, now, so first of all, what we ask from the coach is a story of struggle, because we all have stories of struggle, and they are very valuable and meaningful, because what sets you apart from other coaches is the relatability and similarity to the ideal client. And what we have from all of our client interviews, what we found out is one of the biggest reasons why a certain kind of coach feels right, or they chose that, is that they find similarities, or they relate to the story of struggle, and then they can find that emotional connection. For example, I'll share from my life, and if I would have been a coach, what my story of struggle could have been. So when I was 20, my mother died of cancer, but that led me to think of what is my purpose in life, and that I want to live a meaningful life, so I don't need to regret it later. And out of that struggle and that anxiety, then I began to think of these big questions. And then we can move on the search for solution story. So that was my story of struggle. And if someone, as we usually lose people, important people in our life, then that my story can then connect with someone else's, and they can be, oh yeah, I lost my father too, and it was devastating. And now Niklas knows how I feel inside of me, and we get this connection, like, and that's we want to talk to their emotions and tell that we understand them, and they can share to us because we have also shared to them. And the key here is to still be relevant to the ideal client. So if I would be a coach, I would definitely help people find their purpose in life and find their calling. What do they want to do with their career, so they don't regret it later, and they can have a meaningful life. So that's an impactful, meaningful story that then connects why am I coaching later. Does that make sense? Okay, wonderful. I see nodding. So yeah, then the search for solution is the next thing to share with them, and that's where we bring on your expertise. So we want to, what we talk to clients is that they want someone who is like them, but it's farther away, like more advanced in their search. So they want to see that you have been through where they are, and you have figured things out, you have invested in the searching of the solution, and now you have something to share with them. So that's the next thing. And then you're going to share some value, some evidence that you found something out in the surprising results. And that can be anything. And I love it because coaches have so much to share, and those golden nuggets of aha moments and surprising results are so people love them, clients love them, because, for example, before I got introduced to coaching, I looked everywhere for someone to tell me what to do. And that was my mistake, because I was buying those courses and I was just digging a deeper hole to myself, because I was comparing myself to everyone. So here, for example, a surprising result could be that I actually found out that I shouldn't be listening to other people's advice, but I have the answers within me, and I just need a professional to help me and guide me to my inner wisdom and my inner answers, because those have been buried deep inside. And that's something that will give them a revelation, like, oh, I have been looking, but I might be looking in the wrong place. So what is this coaching? Maybe I should give it a try. And there's like the secret aha moment is basically connected to what I said. So those two things tie in together. Mm-hmm. And yeah, if anyone has questions, feel free to jump in or let me know. I'll be more than happy to explore and explain more. Yeah, we want to keep all of this, as I said, in like keeping in mind what's in it for them. So if we share something, we want it to be connected to what's in it for them. And this and the next things is basically a step-by-step framework about those steps, what you then think the would be beneficial to the clients. So you can share that, okay, first we're gonna do this, and then that. And it's very important for the client to see beyond the session. So when they are thinking about booking, they wanna know what's in the session. If I book you, if I call you, what will we do? So that lowers the uncertainty, because when there's uncertainty, then that lowers the conversion rate of results. So if we are hesitant or we don't know what's going to happen if we do something, then we are more eager not to do it. We want to stay safe. We want to stay what we know. So we want to give them a sneak peek of actually how do we get them the results. And then at the end, we want to recap the benefits for them, what's in it for them. And 3 bullet points, 3-point lists work very well. Our brain loves them, so we gravitate towards them. We love to search them, and when we find them, we love to read them. So please, every time you make a story or website, have it as concise as possible, and then stick to 3 bullet points. Most likely or it's better if they are up there, so we can identify and see what's in it for me. Should I read more? Mm-hmm. Any questions from this?
Yeah, I'd love to jump in here. I love what you're sharing, and I'll just be brutally honest with the people on the call. I really dislike this portion of coaching, trying to figure out what my story is and how to talk about it. And I'm guessing I'm not alone in that. So when you're working with coaches and you see people doing this on their own, I'm curious, is there anything you can share with us about where you see people going wrong, or maybe they think they're doing a good job, but it's kind of off?
Yeah. Thank you for sharing again. I forgot to say that, like, the point of this call, I was devastated when I had the like topic that I'm going to share about marketing, because I know that it's so hard and a lot of coaches don't like it. So I should have said in the beginning that I'm going to share a lot, but don't worry about it. If you want, we're going to do it for you. So that's a good thing. And actually we had it in the beginning that we had a guide, like a comprehensive guide of what to say and what to type where, but we took it away because it became a mixed salad and every profile was different than the other, and we needed to do the edits to every single one of them later on. So it's very, very hard, but it comes easier when you know the ideal client, and then just keep in mind the basic things. But if at the end, when we're going to share more about Coachilla, if you want, we'll be more than happy to do it for you. Like our marketing team has a journalist who did interviews solely on German newspaper, like high pressure, a lot of interviews. So she's excellent on doing interviews. So you can just be there and she asks questions, and then you can let the answers come in, and she takes them and analyzes them and dissects them, and then we do this for you. So yeah, it's very hard to say. Does that answer your question at all?
It definitely answers how you'll help, which is I guess a good thing. Yeah, and maybe at the end of the call, people have additional questions about just the things that you've seen where people do put something in their story just really that doesn't connect with people. It would be good to know, but it sounds like what you're saying is when you're not focusing on that ideal client, that's where people really start to go wrong.
Yeah, one thing that I could add to that is that this is a cliche, but people don't care what you know until they know that you care. So I see a lot of coaches start with their experience and expertise and this, but then they don't quickly connect to the emotional and why do they do this and who do they do this with to. So definitely most of the issues are that they are speaking to a too broad of audience. So for example, they might be talking, I help people do this, and the people is already too broad. We could go specific there. For example, I help leaders, I help senior, like C-level leaders, I help young leaders, whatever is specific and identifies with the ideal client, then that's better than being general. And then also what you help them to do, usually is best to put in 3 benefits, or like being as specific as possible, because a lot of people in the world are searching for that specific thing that you could help them do. Wonderful. And then, do we have a question?
Yeah, I have a quick question. I'm curious if, like the story and why you coach, the story could be different, because I specialize in 2 different areas. I specialize in academics, and then I also do mental wellness in college students. So it's kind of, college-ish, but it seems very different in marketing. So I'm not sure if if when you're marketing, so for instance, this, not algorithm, but this my story, why I coach, technically then would a person who specializes in more than one thing have different stories, or marketing it in 2 different ways? I mean, even I saw someone with career and life and workplace, and I guess it's Wendy. I don't know if you bring that all together into your one marketing story, or if you've separated it out. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. The ideal thing would be that you pick one thing and one ideal client, and then serve to those challenges. And from your expertise and from your background, then you can speak to them how that is going to help them. So if you have 2 different kind of groups, the risk is there that neither one of them will identify like super well with that. And that's I know it's hard to say, and I hate it, but that's how it goes.
But can I, just as a follow-up to what Tracy was saying, if she has essentially 2 related but distinct audiences that she's serving, how would she work with Coachilla?
Yeah. Well, usually our goal is to identify who is the ideal client, like who is hungriest for your coaching, who has money to buy, and who has that biggest challenge, and who have that biggest goal. Because our goal and your goal most likely is, of course, to make an impact, but then coach full time. Where I talk most of the coaches with, they want to coach full time, and there we need to think strategically who is the best candidate for your business. So who are you talking to that can help you make that impact and help you get more clients, and clients who can pay you, so then you can expand your business. And so then together we would think who is the best one. And if the best one is 2 clients, and you want to serve 2 clients, then you of course can, but then usually the results aren't that good in it. But if we can try to tie it together. If there is something that will relate to both people, then the same message can relate to different kind of groups as well. If there are if we find similarities and familiarities in them, the 2 groups, if they have same kind of challenges and same kind of goals, then we can speak to those challenges and goals and help them there.
So I think it would, sorry to take this into my case, but I think I do get a lot of referrals through academia to get doctoral students through their program. That's what I do. I mentor them and coach them. The other component is probably the one that I would need more help with clients, even though I'm sure they're out there, but it would be mental wellness of college students. So I guess in my marketing technique, I kind of would have to, what I hear you saying is I would have to kind of focus on maybe the client that I would need necessarily more help getting people in. Because the academia component, I don't know if I do because I'm fairly busy with that. But it is the mental wellness component that I really, it's harder for them to step forward and resonate with someone and actually, to speak to my story situation. I think it would maybe resonate with someone in that. So I need to choose. That's where that's going. Sorry.
Okay. Yeah. Usually, like, if you want to serve both of them, like that's meaningful to you, then of course we can help with the component that is lacking or missing. But usually, the best thing might be, I don't know if it is for you, but what I have learned or like raising this business and in marketing is to focus on the winners, or like if something is doing well, if you are getting clients on the other hand and you're not getting clients on the like mental health and wellness, then like the evidence says that you could focus on the other because that's getting the traction, and that's getting the flow, and then maybe you can help them also in the mental health and wellness part, as I think every one of us could benefit from that, definitely. So that's usually if there's traction from some place, then it's good to focus on that.
Keep the pace. Okay. Yeah.
Anything else from anybody? All right. If not, then we can move forward. And as you already mentioned, that's all of this is a lot of work. And what we have found out is that coaches like a lot of coaches who try to find clients, they are using up to 50% of their time on learning and trying marketing and drafting the stories and building website and trying the copy and messaging people. And that's what we love to do, because we see your time as super valuable. Like when you could use that time to coaching instead of things that you don't like that much, it will revolutionize your world, but then also other people, because you do coaching the best. And when you have more clients and you can focus that time on there, then you impact more lives. So this is something that we made out of a calculation of what that is actually worth to you. So 50% of your time is estimately almost 800 hours a year, and with 150 rate per hour, that's over $100,000 that you could be earning if you focus that on marketing. But then also or if you focus that on coaching, but then maybe more important than money would be the fulfillment that you can, if you use that time also to your family and to your self-development. So this is where we start to go to the like empathy part of it's hard, and we understand that, and we don't want to just leave you alone with it, if that makes sense. So any questions from this part before we move forward to like how could Coachilla help you with this?
Yeah, one question, Manoj here. One question regarding social media. Like, would you recommend being spread out in different, Facebook and LinkedIn and, Twitter, or would you recommend that to start off, we focus on one social media and kind of deepen our brand, or deepen our position there?
That's an excellent question, and I would like to kind of copy the strategy that I talked with talked to Tracy about that. Whatever is winning, then focus on that. So at the beginning, or when you go, you might need to try different kind of strategies. But if you see that your ideal client is mostly on LinkedIn, or your ideal client is on this Facebook group, then when you see those initial results and feedback and you get forward, then I really recommend that you focus on that, give that your best. For example, 1 year or 6 months, 8 months, you give that your best, and then see the results after that. And if you need to make a change, but it's also like always good to test things and do the for example, in the beginning, do same kind of thing in different kind of platforms, and then see what platform got the best results for you, and then focus on that. So that's on the one case. But if you can later on use this, I'm going to just call it the waterfall technique. So if you, for example, make a blog post or make a Facebook post, but you could also make a video easily out of it and post that on YouTube, then you can consider doing that. Or if you make a Facebook post, but you could copy paste a small section out of it and make a LinkedIn, like a Twitter post about it easily, then that can be also done. But I recommend focusing on one channel that works best for you. Does that answer the question?
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you for the question. It was a good one. Any other questions from this point?
Is there a resource that actually highlights who's using what? Like certain age groups are using Twitter, you know?
Yeah, there is. I think if you Google, you will definitely find that. I cannot remember specifically, but I know that Snapchat is the youngest, like 16 and under, and then LinkedIn, who uses LinkedIn, they have 25% higher income, and there's these kind of statistics and graphs you can easily find it. That's a very good idea when you are identify your ideal client. Then the next step, where are they? That's definitely a good tip. Good tip you brought up, Tracy. Good thing to do. Wonderful. Anything else? Okay. So as we move forward to now presenting the solutions of what we do here in Coachilla, and this will be very interesting to have a conversation. I think there will be questions, and I'll be more than happy to share what we have gathered. So we built the solution from our experience. So 2.5 years ago, when we were clients and looking for a coach, it was like looking in a needle in a haystack. For example, my friend recommended a coach for me, but it wasn't a good fit. So I went to Google, and there was thousands of results. And honestly, I went 1.5 hours looking for them, just clicking and looking at the price. So we wanted to design a platform that goes from beginning to the end, offering you as a coach everything you need, from profile done for you, a calendar, video call, payments, and having it exclusively for ICF trained coaches. So we want to just have the best of the best there, the quality that everybody can trust. So we build that name and that brand for every one of us as a coach. When you are in our platform, people will know you that, okay, you are one of the selected, as we will only select 100 coaches and then close the applications and then work very closely with those 100 coaches. We have now about 65, and we're getting about 8 applications a day when we are running a marketing campaign. So that's the first thing, how you can join Coachilla. Any questions from this? Okay, wonderful. And then a second thing that we are doing, this is extra that we found out that is very, very important for the coaches, how to get clients, is, as I said in the beginning, that the relationship is is what is the most important, and that takes time, building that relationship within you and the client. And there was questions, where do I find my ideal client, and how do I educate them about coaching so they know and they can buy from me? Excellent questions, and this is a solution for that. So we will build personalized marketing campaigns about you as a coach and about your coaching, and only about that. From our marketing our marketing team will do that for you, and then those content pieces are then educating your ideal client on Facebook via ads. So we will use Facebook ads or LinkedIn ads, and they will talk about the challenge and talk about the goal. And then when they come to your profile, looking who you are as a coach, and if they don't book, then we retarget them with ads that then share more about your coaching and answer questions on what is coaching. And that's a real game changer. No platform is doing that at the moment, and it's extra work from us, a lot of extra work, but that's what we see is the key pillar to long-term successful relationship with the coaches. Any questions from this?
Hi, this is Ellen. I have a question.
Hello.
Can you hear me?
Yes. Wonderful.
One of the questions I had was, how many coaches do you currently have using the Coachilla platform for service?
Mm-hmm. We have about 67 now, I think. Yeah.
Okay.
67.
Okay. And how many clients does the platform get a day, a month from people hitting your website or your service?
That's a good question. So we have now onboarded about 20 coaches in last month, and the coaches who were there previously, I think there's about 10 clients they have, and it's partly only 10 because of the relationship. So when there's just a profile and the matching and people come to your profile, they don't yet have a relationship with you. And I have done now over 100 interviews with other coaches, and those who have been on also in the other platforms, they say that they get 1 to 3 clients per year, and that's not what coaches want. They want a consistent stream of clients, and we figured out that it's about this relationship. So before you don't have that relationship with the client, when they just come to your profile, we need something that will build that relationship with the client before they come to your profile. And that's what this marketing package is then addressing to. And this is what we are launching. This is a new thing we are launching now on this month.
So I'm sorry, I didn't understand. You said you currently have 65 coaches that have signed up for your service and are receiving referrals now.
What was the last part? 65 coaches.
And those coaches are now open and ready for referrals?
Yes.
Okay. And then you said you just processed an additional 20 applications, or processing additional 20 applications from new.
Yeah, about the 65, about 20 of them have come in a month or two, or about a month.
Okay.
And like the 40, we have 40 a long time. We had 40 on the platform, and the platform itself has been launched on October, so it's not that old.
Oh, just in October 2018?
Yeah, but the company has been on 2.5 years. So first we did everything manually. Then we ran out of hands. We were doing manual matching all day, and then we figured out that okay, this definitely works, and there's a need for this. So let's build a proper solution, a proper platform that then coaches can use, and that we have now been building 1.5 years or a year or so, and now it was ready on October for all the coaches.
Okay, great. Thank you.
Thanks, Ellen. I just want to jump in really quickly and do a time check. We have about 3 minutes left. So maybe, I don't know how many slides you have left, but maybe the last kind of takeaway we could leave with coaches. And I know you're available and we're available for anyone who's interested or who watches this video to come back and ask questions later. So maybe like the final the final takeaway for us.
Yeah. Yes. Wonderful. Thank you. So yeah, definitely there's like the marketing is the biggest challenge, and these are what we have talked to are the identifying the ideal client, telling your story, building that relationship, and the key that you don't have to do it alone, and we can do it together strategically. So that's the key. And then there's a promotion that you can get, the annual membership, 30% off, so $250 for the annual membership, and the monthly membership is otherwise $30 per month, and we'll take only a small commission from the sales. So we want to focus on what is making you successful, and then elevating that. So we say 15% and you get 85, which is from my interviews a fair thing to do. I don't know about that, but there's also a promo code. You can take a screen share or a screenshot or camera shot from there, and when you apply on our website on their coachilla.co /coach, there's a very short application, and then you can have one-on-one call with me, where you can ask more questions, and I can go through things that are not covered here, or then learn more about you as a coach, because that's what I love to do. And so we can have a one-on-one call before you join the platform. And yeah, the call is also to ensure that we don't take just anybody. So that's like a pretty screening call as well. Wonderful. We have 1 minute, and that's it. Any questions? And how about the time? What can we do?
Yeah, thanks. We're right at time, so I'll be the gatekeeper here to say there's probably not time for additional Q&A, just to be respectful of everyone's time. But I'm so thankful for the people who joined. It was really nice to see everybody's face and to hear your questions. I'm sure that you have many more. So we're excited about this partnership. I could say I'm personally excited about a platform that's looking to exclusively bring on ICF certified coaches. It's one of my concerns in the industry at the moment. And yeah, if anyone wants to connect with Coachilla, please reach out to them. If anyone wants to connect more with our chapter, please reach out to me or any of the rest of us. We're excited to have you as members. And another plug that our new website will be launching hopefully in a couple days, so make sure you check that out too.
Wonderful. Thank you, everybody, and have a good day.
Yeah. Bye, everyone.
Bye.
Thank you. Bye.